moment. If this is your first time listening in, you are tuned into 99.3 Nigeria Info. Once again, we are Nigeria's number one talk, news, and sports radio station. I am Zaynab Yekin. All right, a hearty cheers to all experienced parents, mom or first-time parents or moms who recently welcomed a new addition to the family this month, January so far. Nigeria Info and Maternity Line Show do extend our heartfelt congratulations. All right, to those who are expectant, may you receive your bundle of joy in your arms safely and in sound health. Again, it's my prayer that God brings some comfort and puts smiles on the faces of mothers and parents who are still mourning the death of their children lately. All right, it's the second episode of Maternity Line Show in the year 2025. So I say big thanks for being a part of the show. Right from where we started about 2 years ago. Yes, 27th January will be 2 years on air. So be sure to keep a date. Fridays, 12:15 p.m. We got podcast of past episodes of Maternity Line up on our website. Do log on to nigeriainfo.fm and do well to follow us on social media platforms. X at Nigeria FM, Instagram and Threads, Nigeria Info FM Lagos. And when you tweet, please, when you tweet Nigeria Info, remember to include the hashtag Nigeria Info ML. Also, don't forget to give me a mention. And yeah, you are also allowed to tag me to relevant content, right? So, Lagos, welcome to Maternity Line Show. All right, it's just 20 minutes past 12 o'clock from our beautiful studio located in the heart of Lagos, 267A SME Crescent. That's where we are. And we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Do subscribe and like our page on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Simply go on both platforms and search Nigeria Info 99.3. All right, so Lagos, today we discuss early childhood education, how teachers can support slow learners. I want to assume that many people, yes, I mean, it's a video that is still making the rounds on the internet till date, till now. It's heartbreaking, I know, right? But of course, it's very important to have this conversation regardless of what may have been going on in that video, though heartbreaking as a parent myself. Okay, and in case you didn't already know, I'll tell you. Earlier in the week, a female school teacher identified as Stella Mwadibo of the Christ Methodist School Ikorodu, who is now remanded at the Kirikiri Correctional Center, was spotted in a viral video using force toward a 3-year-old pupil in a class, Abayomi Michael, just because the boy appears to be a slow learner. Now, early childhood education. Let me check on my guest first of all before I move on. Okay, I seem to have my guest with me. Now, early childhood education is a starting point for child development and the key foundation. So it is the bedrock upon which all other educational levels build. And once a child misses that early stage, it is usually difficult for the learner to get back to basics. All right. So I keep saying it is heartbreaking because every child is different, right? Most toddlers especially will be able to count to say 10 by the time they are 2 years, right? And at this points in time, they're probably repeating all that they probably heard from people, or if they're lucky enough, just maybe not lucky, maybe maybe lucky anyway. I mean, for parents like us who have to go to work once a child is 3 months, all right, and you just want to drop your child in school, say from age 2 months and probably few weeks. I mean, yes, like 6-8 weeks, because the 8 to 10 weeks, let me put it that way. So that such child may have the opportunity to start learning right from when he or she is an infant, right? From the crèche, from the sounds being played and repeated. So at this point, a child may have been able to memorize a lot. And by the time they are 2-year-old, they may be able to count at least up to 10. And at this point in time, they are probably repeating them mostly by memory and have yet to understand what they actually mean. So I must say it's heartbreaking seeing a teacher, oh God, watching that video or playing back the memory of that video is still heartbreaking for me. But however, I'm going to bring in my guest just after this break. That's why I've been talking here, to bring in my guest. I have Grandma Omolara Willoughby with me on the show today. I'll be introducing her right after the show. Please stay here, Lagos. I'll be right back.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Ireti Bakare Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding Borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook, we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous new year. Bye-bye, all the best.
For 3 decades, Chocolat Royale has been at the heart of your sweetest celebrations, creating cakes, pastries, and confections that turn moments into memories. From birthdays to weddings, cozy mornings to grand occasions, we've been honored to bring a little more joy to your life, one delicious bite at a time. As we celebrate this incredible milestone, we want to say thank you to all our loyal customers and friends, our dedicated team members, and our wonderful suppliers who have made this 30 years so special. Here's the 30 years of creating delicious memories and many more to come.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is
Maternity Line.
Maternity Line.
Lagos, I have with me Grandma Omolara Willoughby, a retired educator, but not tired. I love the sound of that. A retired but not tired educator, school administrator, child psychologist, and educational consultant. Grandma Omolara, are you here with us?
I'm here with you.
Good afternoon, Grandma. Thank you for obliging us. Great to have you with us today on Maternity Line.
It's my pleasure.
All right, Grandma, before I brought you in earlier, I was giving a background to this discussion on early childhood education. When a child misses that part, that phase, such child might struggle. Reason it's important to be patient with them at that level of stage of life. Yes, that's the word I was looking for, at that stage of life. Now, I remember having a tete-a-tete with one of my fellow mom colleague in the industry on the show last week, discussing parenting, Generation Alpha, sort of touching on parents not being strict as before. But now, today, going by what happened earlier in the week, I would say it's paradoxical to see that people who are meant to even be more patient with our child have amongst them the bad eggs. That is causing embarrassment. You saw the video I called your attention to on Tuesday or Wednesday when I reach out, and I would love to start by asking you that as a teacher, also as a child psychologist, how would you react to that viral video to start with, Grandma?
Well, I'll react the way everyone has. But on the side, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because definitely that lady is not a teacher, and that's the problem with how we have with our education system in Nigeria today. Let me say Lagos, because we're in Lagos. A lot of schools employ job seekers. They don't employ trained hands. When I go to trainings to talk to teachers, I make them realize that the good teachers are in the hospitals. The good teachers are in the banks. The good teachers are maybe poultry farmers. They'll never come into teaching because of the remuneration and because of the attitude of our government, parents. It's a hydra-headed thing. So I'll react with annoyance. But behind that annoyance, I know there's so much ignorance of that lady. You can imagine I was reading something on WhatsApp today, from the classroom to Kirikiri. I felt so bad. Ignorance. And another thing I tell teachers when I do trainings is that, like the old saying says, you can't keep doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result. You cannot teach the way you were taught. It won't work in the 21st century. You can't teach the way you were taught. Certainly that's the way she was taught. And like Mrs. Adeni said yesterday.
Driver, yes.
A lot of parents grew up in abuse, so they know nothing else. They know nothing else. I once told a teacher, I said, correct what the child has done, not the child. But it's difficult for those who are not trained or those who do not seem to understand what you're talking about. I've consulted with a few schools, and I give them recommendations, and they look at me like, all this you have written, how do we do it? So what I did towards the latter part of the earlier part of my retirement days was contract jobs. Maybe I troubleshoot for you, I write recommendations. They are never able to implement them. So I now join them for 2-3 years to set them straight, and I move on my own. Definitely that lady was not trained. Coupled with the TPN we are going through, frustration.
It's interesting to know that even in retirement, you still avail yourself to impact life because you have a lot to give up of yourself. And I love that, Grandma. That's so interesting. Wonderful to know. Thank you. Well done for impacting life. Now, Grandma, can you help us understand what it means to be a slow learner in early childhood education?
In early childhood education, in my own dictionary, there's nothing like a slow learner.
Oh.
No. How would you love to be called slow?
Well,
because even as adults, we are wired differently. If I put 10 people your age together, given a task, somebody will finish first, somebody will finish last.
Absolutely.
The person who finished last, is he a slow person?
So
I'd rather see a struggling child.
A struggling child.
Yes, I'd rather see a struggling child. And if a child struggles, there certainly are reasons for that. And one would first need to identify why that child is struggling. I am yet to get the facts of that incident. People say the child is 3. He looks a bit older than 3 too. He looks a bit taller than 3.
I was going to say the same thing until I saw an interview with the mother of the boy herself.
Okay.
And she declared that the boy will be 4 this year. So, I mean, he's already heading to 4, 3 years plus.
Good.
Yes.
So the teacher lacked the method to handle such a child. In the first place, you want the child to write. Every subject has its own methodology. And even in early years, it's just the climb we're in. Osumi, I don't know what to say. In early year, at 3, was the mother writing at 3? 6. It's even better one now. We said 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. Some years ago, I was hearing 1 and 1 11, 1 and 2 12, 1 and 3 13,
1 4 14. That's how my child counts too.
I told them in a school. I said 1 and 1 is not 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 3 is 4. They looked at me strangely. I said, you are teaching them the wrong thing. So I think they have now graduated to 1 1 11.
Right.
1, 2, 12, 1 3. And these children do not know what they are teaching, for God's sake. At that age, yes, all you need. What do typical Nigerian people call it? Playway method. All they need to do is sing numbers, play numbers. There should be maybe magnetic numbers. There should be that boy should be on his seat. Yeah, you know how big I am now with my big bones. I will sit on their chair, on their small chairs. You come to their level.
Right.
No child should go to a teacher's table to start writing. It's intimidating. You sit with them. And that boy, even if he's struggling, maybe a sand tray, and he'll be using his fingers to write the 6 and the 1 but after all, what's a 3-year-old doing with writing 61? He can sing and count up to maybe 100. Let me tell you a lie now. With the British curriculum, I think till age 4 or 5, all they need is 1 to 20. All they need is 1 to 20. Whatever you can do with figures 1 to 20, and you are able to place the 2 under tens and the 0 under units, there is no number you will not be able to handle. But with us, our own is always upside down. If they don't count, I've met a parent before who told me his her 4-year-old can do 100 tens unit. I just looked at her, I shook my head. I said, what is 100 tens unit? This child doesn't know anything about. He can't place 100. He can't place tens. He can't place units. What the child has been able to do is what we call number bonds, bonding numbers. And that is when the child knows 1 plus 8 is 9, knows that 7 plus 2 is 9, 2 plus 7 is 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, 5 plus 4 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9. That is number bond. And once a child is okay with that, write 100 tens unit at the top. The child doesn't know it. He will just bond the numbers and write the answers for you. And you say the child can do 100 tens units. I don't know the madness of racing and trying to be the child of a genius or whatever. If a child is a genius, you will know. There won't be any struggles.
Having to.
But when the foundation is well, the Bible says it. When the foundation is not there, what will the righteous do? That's exactly. The woman was not doing the right thing with the boy, lacked the proper methodology, and as for me, I know I've been reprimanded a lot of times by school proprietors. There was a school I went to. I topped all first, second, third in this nursery school, in the nursery classes. First, second, third. What are they competing over? Let them get their developmental milestones right. Let them mature as they should, physically, cognitively, their social and emotional development. Let them be able to do what they are supposed to do, not competing. If at all you want to do anything, give them certificates in handwriting, in counting, in numeracy, and every child will go home with a certificate. Because it got up to a stage that parents now started competing. Now my pikin come first. My child said your daughter didn't do well this time. Can you imagine what that does to a child? But unfortunately, I don't know. The Lagos state government needs a lot of work to do.
You're coming to that.
It's all over Nigeria, but Lagos is a peculiar state. I'm in Ikorodu. I will tell you, 80% of schools in Ikorodu are not registered.
80%.
They are not registered. And I have a feeling maybe there isn't enough manpower to go around all the schools. And by the time brown envelopes exchange hands, they sit in their offices and don't do anything. And the parents don't know any better. You know what I call some of the parents?
Tell us.
Pikin where they born pikin.
Right, speaking where they born pikin. We once had a conversation.
Look at that lady that did hair for 8 months old.
Yeah, the video you shared yesterday. Yes. I saw that video on the newsroom on Wednesday. I was showing my colleagues. I'm like, have a look at
where
this.
They born pikin. The parents don't know any better.
Grandma, it's looking like it's the reality right now that we have to live with, but at the same time getting our authority is on board to act fast to correct all these wrong narratives, including the ones happening in the context of parenting. And I love the fact that you've touched on a lot. If you're watching on Facebook right now, I mean, I've noted down a lot of points. Grandma, you are indeed a consultant, an educator, because I've just been writing from all that you have said. And I love the fact that you corrected saying there is no child is a slow learner. Instead, struggling child. Also, I love the fact that you touched on intimidation that parents face sometimes. So here is the thing: at some point, I've experienced that. I've had to take my child to a salon to make her hair and stuff, and my child, together with another child, they were counting numbers or the alphabet, and the other mother goes, "Oh, they've not thought them up to 50. I think at the time, Farhan was still counting up to 20. Now she's in nursery 1. That's Robot 1. Yeah, she's in nursery 1 right now. And before they went on break the last term, she was counting up to 30. She was even writing backward from 30, 29, 28 up till 0. And so apparently towards that vacation time, I noticed that she started counting from 30 to 100. I was like, eh? This girl was only counting. She was able to identify from 1 to 30. How come she's not counting up to 100? What's going on?
Because she has been able to grasp the concept.
So
it's the concept they need to grasp.
Yes.
And if you use the right method, you don't just teach them to write 1 to 100. Yes, they can count. They can even. I love to use. Children love music.
Right, they do.
So in my days, in the mornings when we want to do a carpet time, we sit down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and on and on and on and on and on like that.
Sing on, Grandma.
So sometimes they are the ones that will remind me, you haven't sung a song today. Oh, I'm sorry. And we sit down and we sing. It registers. But when you now leave all that aside and what you want to do is right, and you see, gaps have been left in that child's learning, which may or may not be filled as the child grows. And that's where you find some of them hating school or some of them stagnating in future.
Grandma,
our teachers need training. You see, the day the teacher training colleges were closed, I knew Nigeria was on the verge of the education system in Nigeria was on the verge of collapse. Those were good schools. I went through the ropes. I'm sorry to say, I did my WAEC. I didn't pass. I hated maths. I failed maths. I failed biology. And way back then, if you don't pass one maths and one if you don't pass maths and one science subject, you ain't going nowhere.
Oh wow!
So from there, I went to the teacher training college. I did 2 years. By 6 months in the teacher training college, they were asking me what did I come to do here that I was supposed to do in the university. I didn't answer them. So I did my 2 years there. From there, I went to do my NCE.
Grandma.
That was the days NC was still doing youth corps. I went for my youth corps. At youth corps, I stayed back at Ilorin, University of Ilorin, did my degree, came back down here.
Probitas Doctrina. Grandma, we graduated from the same school. Anyway, because of time, Grandma, I love the fact that you've emphasized the importance of trainings. While it is very, very essential that whoever is going into teaching must also undergo training, as it were, which is of course expected of everyone, because teaching is not just something you take up because there is no employment. It is something that you need to be passionate about, and if you are going into teaching, you need to be very patient as well, because you need to also come down to the level of children depending on the class you are teaching. Lagos, I see you're trying to call into the show. 201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. Drop me your message on 0809-597-5805. We are coming back to strategists. Good afternoon, Nigeria Info.
Yeah, Zaynab, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Grandma, Happy New Year, ma.
Grandma.
Happy New Year, Mr. Chris.
Thank you very much. Zaynab, I saw that video. The moment I watch and see that lady, I said, no, this is witchcraft. It's not a matter of economy. You can see the wickedness in that woman. Like Grandma said, most of those schools are not registered. Not only Ikorodu. Come to my suburb in Yeshadia. A lot of them. 2-3 years. At that age, did that woman go to school? At that age. That is mere wickedness. They should not sweep this under the carpet. Thank you, Grandma.
Thank you, Chief Mister. I'm guessing trying to drop his call now. God, apologies, Lagos. This happens when sometimes when we do conference call. Yes, that was I cut Grandma off.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Nigeria Info.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Akibe on the line.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a trained teacher from the north, specifically Plateau State. So in the teaching training, as is giving us methodology now, somebody who has not given birth is not allowed to teach from nursery 1 to 3 or 2.
The woman
it's
in
those
the
that have given birth that can teach. But if they are male, they are to be matured. And then we are giving crash program. Maybe they did teach us that in the teacher training college syllabus, that you are told to impart knowledge, not to destroy the student, no matter the age or circumstances.
Thank you.
And teacher, hello?
We're with you.
Okay. The teachers are told not to use negative language upon the children.
Thank you.
Let's say my husband, my darling, no, you will come there to impart knowledge.
All right.
Give it in the right method.
All right. Thank you so much. Impact knowledge and use it in the right method. I'm trying to get Grandma Omolara back on the line. Lagos, please permit me to do this. Can you please? I see many people are trying to call into the show. Just give me 1 minute and kindly drop that call. You would call back in just 1 minute, please. Thank you. All right. Grandma is, thank you. Yeah, thank you for dropping that call already. Trying to get Grandma back on the line. Woohoo. Okay. Lagos, we are still very much here discussing education, early childhood education and helping a struggling child. Grandma says we shouldn't call it a slow learner. What's going on? I've been trying to get Grandma back on the line. Okay, here you go. I've succeeded at doing that. Hello, Grandma. Are you here with us? Grandma, are you here? Hello? Grandma? Oh, gosh. Okay. All right, Lagos. I'll be right back. Just give me 1 minute. Something also happened from her end, I'm guessing, but I'll try as much as possible to get Grandma back online. You can drop me your message on WhatsApp. I see this one. Never leave any valuable words. Okay, this is not talking to me. Good afternoon, Zaynab. Okay, this is Chris from Ikorodu. You just said it all. Most of the teachers in our school are not teachers, they are only there for the salary. Chris from Ikorodu. Good afternoon, Grandma. Are you here with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh, thank you. Now, Grandma, because of time, we need to move. I see people calling into the show. Let me pick this last call before we go back. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Zaynab. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Grandma, good afternoon, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
I'm Mrs. Obodi from Ikorodu.
Please go ahead, Mrs. Obodi. Go ahead.
Okay. The subliminal songs Grandma sang, that we also know as nursery rhymes, made more impact than the mode of training that the teachers we have these days employ. So I don't understand. They still sing these songs in some schools, but I also agree when she was saying that you shouldn't call any child slow because they all have their way of learning, It's just a metamorphosis for me. Now, Madam Viver said something yesterday that beating a child is the laziest form of approach to discipline. It's not everything you beat a child. You can be very, very patient and follow that child up. That child you are trying to impact knowledge in will learn at their own pace.
All right.
So everything is not giri.
All right.
Help all these teachers. Grandma, thank you for enlightening us this afternoon, ma.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Oboli. I have a question here. Well done, Zaynab. Please help ask Grandma Omolara how one can tell a better nursery and primary school. What are the important things to look out for? No. Okay, Hakim is asking Grandma. Oh gosh, what's going on again? Grandma, it appears your network is unstable. Your call has dropped again. Well, I'm hoping Grandma is able to rejoin to attend to your question. Another one here. Grandma, are you back with us? Okay. What's going on, Grandma? Grandma, we need you back on the show. All right, I have this one coming from Kemi. Kemi says, good afternoon, Zaynab. Nice one and nice to hear Grandma on Maternity Line Show. She sounds so beautiful. Thank you, Kemi. Another one, good afternoon, Zaynab. Thank you for bringing Grandma Omolara. In fact, I'm in another classroom right now, learning new methodology and children teaching techniques. I'm blessed today. Most of today's teachers are job seekers without passion, creativities, empathy, etc. Yomi from Muriokola. Thanks. Okay, Akim is thanking me. Thank you to Akim for sending in your message. Grandma, are you back with us?
I am.
Okay, so Grandma, Akim was asking, how can one tell a better nursery and primary school? What are the important things to look out for?
It's not easy to know as such, especially with the way some schools in Lagos behave. It should be a school you are free to walk into. but not just walk into the classroom. You need to take permission. It should be a school that if you go to make inquiries, the admin or the head teacher or whoever will take you around the school. You see all the facilities they have. You may even be able to watch a teacher teach from the window. But a school that shuts all doors, that do not allow you to see what is going on there, something is wrong. It should be a school where there is a live noise, not a cemetery silence. You understand what I mean?
Very well, Grandma.
There should be some element of noise, but not a chaotic noise.
All right.
And it shouldn't be absolute silence.
All right. Thank you, Grandma, for that. Okay, I have another one. Good afternoon. So, okay, this is coming from Chidozie says, Grandma, 80% of this school that are not registered in Ikorodu, how could they be fished out?
The Minister of Education knows what to do. They know the criteria.
Okay.
They know what to do. There's it's a quality assurance, or what are they called now? There are officials there who go around to check the schools. But by the time the proprietor or proprietress is highly pleased, or is a family member of somebody who knows somebody, they are often let go.
All right.
By the time they are serious, it's the political will we don't have to do. We are unable to do a lot of things. That's what has affected the education sector.
All right, Grandma, I have, okay, this particular one is coming from me. Right. So now, how important is regular progress updates to parents? This is me talking about a collaboration with parents, teachers collaborating with parents. I know that our young people need help both at home and in school. And in many schools, teachers are not even allowed to keep rapport with parents beyond the school hours or beyond the school environment. Does this in any way affect teachers working closely with parents? I mean,
It
together.
It does. But you see, I can't blame schools that do that because we no longer have professionals. Some years ago, a teacher in my school will go home to do lessons with a child, and they will give her a banoha, and she will sit down and eat the banoha before doing the lesson. You can't reprimand such child. The child, it's either you cheat, you help the child to cheat, or one thing or the other. So there are no professionals any longer. A professional knows that knows their limit and their limitations.
Okay.
That's just what you can say.
But Grandma, it's still very important for parents to collaborate with teachers. You made a very valid point. I see that happen.
Another thing I need to add is that some schools have what we call a communication book.
Right. Yes. My
so
daughter has.
they communicate that way.
Okay.
Because I know there are some proprietors that won't allow you to stand and talk with a parent. I've worked in a clime that you need to know the child, you need to know the parent, you need to know the father. Even there are particular forms we give them to fill. You know everything about that child and his or her family that will help you to help the child better.
I love that. In fact, what is Somile in new school or mommy? In my child's school, they would have tagged me because her communication book is always full. If I observe anything, I must.
Schools where my granddaughter had attended, they hate to see me. They hate to see me.
Okay, we got more people calling into the show, and we have less than 2 minutes to go. Grandma, what message? Because I still have messages here, calls are still coming in, but I would love for you to let's have your thought or message you would like to leave our listeners who are both parents and teachers today. I mean, what I mean is, what message you would like to leave our listeners who are both parents and teachers, your advice to new generation of teachers, to teachers in general, and to those handling children in preschool in particular?
The Lagos State government has, Mrs. Adeni talked about it yesterday. They have a website where teachers can go to learn about child rights.
Okay.
Because that's what they'll use against this woman now. That's why she's in Kirikiri. A lot of teachers don't know that.
All right.
There are courses on that website. The courses are free.
Okay.
There are courses for parents too, and you'll get a certificate at the end of the day. There are courses for teachers. There are courses for parents. There are several free courses there. They should begin with that. Then there are websites online where you can do free courses in education, in learning, in classroom management, in one thing or the other, in numeracy, in literacy, in phonics. The internet is so good now. There are websites, 1,000,001 free for that matter.
All right,
where they can do courses that would help them improve.
All right, Grandma,
and for the
we have to
in general, they need training.
Thank you so much, Grandma. I would definitely bring you back on Maternity Line Show. It will happen again because we love to hear your voice. Someone says, good afternoon, Zaynab. Please bring back Grandma so that we can learn more from her. Thanks, Shabolongo from Clermont-Ferrand, France. Oh, Grandma, definitely you'll be back on the show. Thank you for your time today.
It's always my pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lagos. And it's time for the news at 1, and Yvonne Haifo is live in the studio. Christopher Yvonne.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's